Today, I want to take a look at an article from November 27th, 2019 in Education Week. This is very timely. The article is called 10 Simple Steps for Reducing Toxic Stress in the Classroom. And this, I believe, has to do about, trauma-informed practice, good practice in schools. So, in this article, it actually gives 10 things that we as educators could begin to do immediately. And we're trying to do some of these things already. So the first one, number 1, is immerse your school in trauma-informed approaches. So it actually gives you some examples of these. Such approaches focus on infusing the values of safety, trust, collaboration, choice, empowerment, and equity into all learning environments. I really think all of these are key, but especially when we begin to experience behaviors with children who have been in trauma, empowering them and giving them choices in those environments, in our educational environments, really help them overcome what they're going through. This is well beyond anything that we could do for consequences or to punish them for bad behavior. They really have to experience empowerment through choice and feel safe in the educational environment. Number 2, create a positive school climate that offers long-term secure relationships between teachers and students. These relationships support academic, physical, cognitive, and social-emotional development, an approach known as the whole child education. And that can help children overcome trauma and toxic stress. So it really is important to recognize the whole child, which in turn helps us support children academically and cognitively. So providing them social emotional support, whether it's through on-site counseling or maybe just listening to them and helping them work through a situation can really help them overcome some trauma and toxic stress in their lives. Number 3, incorporate practices that address belonging and safety. Neuroscientists have found kids need a feeling of safety and connection in order to thrive. As a recent Edutopia video series on how learning happens demonstrates, something as simple as greeting children at the door each day, which I know many educators do, and I think that's excellent practice, with a hug, a high five, or a handshake, can help develop an atmosphere of trust, safety, and caring. I'm not so much on the hug, but definitely the high five, the handshake, a hello, a smile. Those are all very, very effective ways to help children start their day on a positive foot. Number 4. This one's more tricky. This one I know we try to do, but it doesn't always happen. But it's good to keep trying. Implement one-on-one time with the teacher. Giving children a few moments of private time each day will help students feel cared about and soothed, experts say. This is something that we may do with children we know struggle. We may give them a touch-base person every day, maybe the guidance counselor, who they see first thing in the morning when they come in, or, a teacher assigned to that role. Number 5, create safe corners in the classroom. Children should have space if they need to take a break and regroup. This respite is particularly important if children are suffering from trauma or toxic stress. I can't say how important this actually is. Sometimes as human beings, we just need a break. Children also, in the role of human beings, need a break. And sometimes these safe places within the classroom can provide a place for children to go so they actually don't have to leave the classroom, seeking this safe respite. So it is very good, as you know your students, you know who will make use of what sort of space. Number 6, be predictable. Again, very key. As the Houston-based psychiatrist and trauma expert Bruce Perry writes, if a schedule is consistent but the teacher is not, there is no predictability for the child. Your smile and the calm rhythm of your voice can make a child feel safe, he explains. Absolutely, the predictability is key so that children know what to expect. Number 7, make sure your students are eating nutritious food and have time to move and play at school. Well, we really can't control what they eat, but we can control what they're offered. So they are offered nutritious things at school, from snacks to, lunch. We work very hard to make sure it's a nutritious meal. We can't make sure that they eat it, but we can make sure it's there for them if they need it. And have time to move and play at school. So, getting out to recess each day is really, really important, and getting them some movement time. Even children who end up having some consequences during the day, we do try to make sure they get some recess time whenever possible. Study after study shows that healthy students perform better on tests, attend school more often, and behave better in class. With this in mind, schools should ensure that students have nutritious meals and snacks, including during celebrations where it can be easy to default to less nutritious foods like birthday cake, as well as regular opportunities to be physically active. And then this one's actually, number 8 is actually quite, gives us some good techniques. So hang up reminders to use talk moves for classroom discussions. So these, I would say the reminders are actually like visual prompts. Taping helpful conversational formulas to the wall for kids to refer to. So, what do you think? Or, I heard you say X. Could you explain that? Can help children get into a classroom discussion and feel more connected socially. Those sorts of anchor charts we know are key for learning. No matter what they're learning, whether they're learning math or whether they're learning to be good listeners, anchor charts are very important for learning. And this article suggests like an anchor chart of talk moves, or some talk move charts that can help give kids prompts to get involved. And I think that's great. This is especially helpful in getting shy students to join the conversation. Number 9, boost engagement with phrases like, I wonder, and I notice. So encouraging students to use these phrases in conversation can clue in teachers about what and how children are learning. So this actually, I think it goes along with number 8. Those are 2 other phrases, that teachers can use while modeling and also put on the wall for children to use during their own discussions. This can make it easier to pinpoint gaps and reach out to students who need help, which may reduce their anxiety about learning. And then number 10, teach and model social-emotional learning. Showing kids how to calm themselves, work out conflicts, and name emotions helps everyone in the classroom to better focus on learning and promotes academic and social development. While sleep, exercise, nutrition, and mindfulness are critical to help children heal the impact of toxic stress, research suggests it is the cumulative dose of positive student and teacher interactions that makes the biggest difference. That's a very powerful statement. Research suggests it is the cumulative dose of positive student and teacher interactions that make the biggest difference. Of course, these suggestions are just one piece of a bigger puzzle for mitigating the impact of toxic stress. Children who experience more severe or frequent ACEs, such as abuse or household instability, will likely need more interventions beyond those that even a caring, nurturing teacher can provide. And referrals to counseling and community resources are likely the next step. But using the above strategies can do wonders for easing toxic stress in the classroom, and I would argue can be a foundation, for building those positive relationships, which does help mitigate some of that stress, even if the child still struggles. So this is, again, from the article 10 Simple Steps for Reducing Toxic Stress in the Classroom, an Education Week exclusive, and I really think by Jim Hickman and Kathy Higgins is who wrote that. And again, I think these types of strategies are very, very pertinent to today's learners and today's teachers and today's educators. So give them a try, everybody.